alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and I want to throw my phone across the room every single freaking morning. Not most mornings, but every single freaking morning. And today, I want to tell you what actually happens in the 15 minutes after the alarm goes off. Because I literally just wrote a whole chapter about it, and I'm recording this episode, made me realize something that I didn't even realize until I was writing it. So stick with me. Hey bestie, welcome back to Thriving Out Loud with your girl Tiff. I'm Tiff. I'm a teacher, I'm a coach, I'm a wife. I'm a mom to 3 amazing kiddos. And if you know me, you know I do not do mornings gracefully. No siree. And also, if you caught episode 11, you know that we planted a whole lemon tree with my kids and turned it into this whole thing about legacy, about how you plant now, your kids will harvest later. Well, today's episode is kind of on the flip side of that. This one's about what I actually plant every single morning before anybody else in my house is even awake. So, here's what's different about today. I just finished writing another chapter of my new book. It's called Girl, God's Got It. And I'm not going to read it to you. No. I thought about it, and honestly, I want you to actually buy the book when it drops instead of hearing the whole thing for free on a podcast. But I do want to tell you what's in it, the real stories behind it. Some of it didn't even make the final page count. So today, consider this the director's commentary. Is that how you say it? Commentary? I don't know. But consider it that, okay? So if you know me, I have the 5 a.m. fight. Okay, so the chapter is called I Have It All Together Before I Can Start. Again, I'm going to say that again. I have to have it all together before I can even start. And it opens with my alarm going off at 5 a.m. Here's what you need to picture. My husband keeps our house at like 65 degrees. It's like a walk-in freezer in there. And I'm under the blankets, warm, comfortable, and my body is literally staging a full protest against getting up. And the man next to me, still asleep, his handsome self, doesn't have to get up for another hour and a half. Maybe 2 hours. No, maybe an hour and a half, because his job lets him roll in later. Don't get me wrong, he works crazy hours. Sometimes he'll work midnight to midnight, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So his schedule's not always 100%. But today, this moment, he gets another hour and a half to sleep. Meanwhile, I'm the one dragging myself into the cold, working out, coming home, waking up the kids, getting everybody dressed, make sure the beds are made, and out the door before that tardy bell even rings. And I say this with all love in my heart for my husband, must be nice. I put that line in the book because every mom listening right now, or every grandparent having to raise their grandkids, like every one of y'all listening right now knows exactly what I'm talking about. There's a specific kind of tired that comes from being the one whose alarm actually means something in the house. But here's the part I really want people to sit with when I wrote it. Before my feet even touch the cold floor, and I mean literally, my feet hang off the bed. So like I get up and they just hang off the edge of my bed. What I do is I pray. Right there in the dark, still half asleep, before I've said a word out loud, before my eyes have even opened a little bit, I go to God first. I thank Him for waking up because, I say this all the time, because somebody didn't get to wake up this morning or yesterday morning, or they won't get to wake up tomorrow morning. And I thank Him for that. I thank Him for my health, for my kids down the hall, for my amazing parents who helped me accomplish everything with my kids, for everything I know I didn't earn, but got anyway. All thanks to God. Yes, thank you, God. Raise the roof for Him. That's not being extra for the book. That's generally the first thing that happens every single day before anything else happens. But why I actually get up. So here's the thing. I wanted to be really honest about this in the chapter, and it surprised me even when I wrote it down. For a long time, I told myself this was just my life. Like, that's it. Wake up, go to work, go to practices, come home, repeat. And I want to be clear. I wasn't ungrateful. I've always been thankful for my husband, my kids, my job, my health. But I figured out there's a difference between being grateful for your life and actually feeling fulfilled in it. You can have both hands full of blessings and still feel like you're watching your own life pass through you instead of living it. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about. And that scared me because when I was stuck in that loop, my kids just kept growing. They're getting older and they're getting bigger. I'm getting older. Time just doesn't pause for you to figure out yourself. Okay? It doesn't pause. Time waits for no one. It doesn't let you figure out yourself. Like, honestly, it doesn't. So I asked myself the real question. Why do I actually drag myself out of bed at 5 a.m. in the morning and then answer, wasn't because I wanted to work out. Who wants to work out 5 a.m. in the morning? No, not me. That wasn't the answer. It wasn't productivity. It wasn't these three little names, Zoe, Zayn, and Zarek. The reason I get up is because I want to be alive and healthy enough to watch my kids become amazing individuals. I want to be able to be healthy enough to watch them, how can I say this? To watch what they become. I want to be the mom at every game, in all the stands, if it's at football, if it's at baseball, if it's at basketball, shoot, if it's at golf or swimming, whatever they decide to do. I want to be there actually watching, not scrolling, not running errands. I want to be the mom they call when they're in their 30s and something goes wrong. I want to be the mom that actually they want to hang out with, you know? The way I still am with my own parents, and I love them to death. I'm so blessed for amazing parents. My mom and dad still plan trips with my sister and I, and now our kiddos come too. 3 generations still showing up for each other. That's not luck. That's what happens when people choose to stay present. And oh my God, I love my parents. They help me so much. I couldn't do it if you didn't know. I have 3 kids and it's just me and my husband. Do you think it's possible to do all 3 of their events? No, my parents help tremendously and I love them for it. That's why I want to retire them so they can just come live with me forever and ever. And here's the part that really gets me. I do the hard stuff at 5 a.m. specifically so I can be fully present with them the rest of the day. Laundry, workouts, working on my dreams, all before the sun is even up. So that when they're home, I'm actually there. I'm not halfway there. I'm not there trying to do my hopes and dreams while they're trying to tell me stories about their day. Because I want my kids to grow up knowing their mom worked for everything she had. They're going to think it was easy. It kind of looks easy, I guess, but it's not. It wasn't. I was a whole lot of 5 a.m. mornings and I did not want to see. You know what I mean? It's just these 5 a.m.s. Whew, they're hard. They are so hard. But I will tell you, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And that brings me to my next part of this podcast. What are they actually watching? There's a line I wrote in the chapter that I keep coming back to, and it's become kind of my whole parenting philosophy at this point. You can tell your kids anything you want. You can tell them to chase their dreams, to work harder, to believe in themselves. You can even put posters in their room. But what they actually become is based on what they watch you do as their parents, as their role models. My kids know that I get up at 5 a.m. when I clearly don't want to. They've watched me ride in the car while they play on their little Amazon TVs in the back of my car, or while they're playing PlayStation on road trips to World Series. That's in a previous episode. Go check it out. They watched me record podcast episodes when their dad knew I was going to and was like, come on, guys, let's go outside. Let's give your mom at least 20 minutes of quietness. So my loving husband takes them out and distracts them for a little bit so I can do this, my podcast. They watched an app I built get rejected 21 times by Apple. And then they watched me try that 22nd time that finally got approved. Yes! It is on the Apple Store. It is live. It is called Thriving and Striving. Go check it out. It's a live coach you didn't even know you needed. So go check it out. Go show some love. That's the actual curriculum, not the pep talk, not the watching. Sorry, not the watching, not the talking, the watching. And bestie, if you're a mom listening to me right now, a dad listening to me right now, I want you to really sit with this for a second. Whatever you're chasing, whatever dream you keep pushing to next year, next season, when your kids get older and you have more time, your kids are going to remember whether you went for it or didn't. Not because you told them to, but because they watched you. They watched you sit around and do nothing. They watched you scroll on TikTok. Or did they watch you become successful while they were at practice? Did they watch you knock down walls that you didn't even know you could knock down? And another thing in my book is angel numbers. I don't know if you know, but there are angel numbers. Okay? I have to tell you about this part because so many of you have asked me about it on TikTok. I put a whole section in the chapter about angel numbers. So angel numbers is like if you look at the clock and you see 111, or if you look at the clock and you see 11:11, 2:22, 3:33, 4:44, 5:55. I also think 1, 2, 3, 4 is an angel number, and if it isn't, oh well, in my mind it is. They just show up in the most randomest ways. It is crazy. And once you start looking at things like that, it's just crazy. It's God saying like, hey, check this out. I got you. I know what you're doing. I got you. They show up on my phone. They show up on my microwave. They show up on my car clock. Literally on my freaking receipts, which is crazy. You know what? 444 even showed up when I was at Myrtle Beach on a girl's left calf. Like it was on her calf. And then, I kid you not, the receipt had said 1444. Like, what are the odds of that? What the world? So guess what I do? I stop and I make a wish until the sequence passes. Until it gets to like 445 or 112, so like when it's not repeating. My students have even caught on to it too. I'll be mid-lesson and someone yells across the room, Mr. Joe, make a wish, it's 11:11. And we do. We all stop and we put it into the universe every single time. We put as many wishes as we can until the sequence changes. Some people think it's superstition. I call it God winking at me, God throwing me a free pass saying, hey, I got you. I know what you're doing and I got you. Know that I'm here for you. I wrote it in the chapter, and I can't always explain how God shows up. I just know He does. He puts me exactly where I need to be before I even realized I needed to be there. And this is a true story. When I was actually writing the section of the chapter, my husband texted me and sent me a screenshot. It said 111, make a wish. I can't make this stuff up. Like, how am I talking about angel numbers and then my husband's just going to randomly text me, hey, it's 111, make a wish. I also pulled the verse where it says, God chose the weak things of the world to shame the strong. I think about that a lot because I am not the most qualified person to do any of this. I am a tired teacher in South Texas, getting up in the dark. And if you don't know, I hate the dark. I'm so scared of the dark. My husband gets mad at me because I always leave the lights on, but it's because I don't like to be in the dark. I'm scared half the time, praying before my eyes even open and are even fully open. But God, He keeps showing up for me anyways. And the honest part, Here's the part of the chapter that was the hardest for me to actually put on paper because it's the most honest part. By 6:30 in the morning, my workout's done, and I wish I could tell you I felt amazing when it was done. Sometimes I do, but a lot of the mornings I'm standing there thinking I should be living a bigger and better life than this. And I want to be really clear, that's not ungrateful, it's just me being honest. You can be thankful for the life and still know you're capable of so much more than what you have. Like, you don't need to settle. If you feel there's more out there, then there's more out there for you. That is what God is trying to tell you. Some things happen when you work out alone before the world even wakes up. Your mind gets loud in a good way. All the dreams you push down to the bottom, the busy day, like you get busy. You don't realize how many thoughts go through your mind throughout the day. But all your dreams you push down during the busy day start floating back up when it's just you in total quietness. I'm not trying to hear loud music to pump me up. No, I just need quietness because my mind's already crazy 110% of the day. And in that window, I can see exactly who I'm supposed to be. I want to travel with my kids, not just talk about it, actually go. Take them fishing on a random Tuesday just because we can, because my kids love to fish. We're the type of people that catch and release. I want 5-figure months, then 6-figure months. I want to be my own boss. Present for my kids in the afternoon with zero Sunday night dread in my body. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about. We're dreading to go back to work on Monday. And then reality hits because we have to go to work. But right before I walk out the door, I know my daughter shows up at my classroom just to see me, or maybe because I have a ton of snacks and she's always stealing them for me. And something cool, next year, my middle son Zayn gets to join us. We will all be at the same school, me, Zoe, and Zayn, and I'll have 2 of them popping in between classes. That's the real reward at 6 a.m., not the workout, not the productivity. I can't even say that. Knowing I'm quietly building something so that one day I don't have to choose between my dreams and my kids. So, ready or not, the last big piece of this chapter is something I say to my athletes every single season, and it took me a while to realize I needed to start saying this for myself. I needed to be the type of person where, what do I tell my kids? Do as I do, not as I say. So, ready or not, it's time. On the court, the game doesn't care if you feel ready. Everything you've practiced is about to get tested. So, ready or not, if you trained hard, we're going to see. And also, another thing, we don't ever lose. We are always winners. Remember that. We aren't losers, we're winners. And a loss isn't failure. It's just your body remembering a feeling that it never wants to feel again. That is fuel. It's not defeat. I know my kids get upset when they lose because they wanted it so bad. But I tell them, I want you to remember this feeling. I want you to remember how angry you are because you didn't do what you needed to do. Work harder and then bounce back. Remember how you feel so that you don't have to feel like this ever again. I've been saying that to my kids. I've been saying that to my teams for years. And one day it hit me. I'm like, girl, apply this to your own life because the same thing that gets me off the bench and into the gym at 5 a.m. is the exact same thing that made me hit publish on my first book, hit record on my first podcast, launch an app that hit on the 22nd time, show up when I had no idea what I was doing. I never felt ready for one single piece of any of it, not the book, not this podcast, not the app, but every time God met me on the other side and we made the decision anyway. I wrote in the chapter that waiting to feel ready is just fear wearing a reasonable disguise. It's a disguise, so just let it go. It sounds smart, it sounds responsible, but it's really just the enemy keeping you comfortable while your calling sits on the other side of that alarm clock. So, my challenge for you, also in my book, I have challenges. So the chapter ends with a direct question to the reader, and I want to ask you the same thing right now. What are you waiting to feel? Like, what are you waiting for? I guess I can say, like, what is it? What are you waiting for to do what you want to do? Not what you should be doing on paper, the actual things sitting in your chest that you keep pushing off till next month, next year, when the kids get older, when the timing is better, when you have more free time to do what you want. I want you to actually think about that answer, because I promise you the pieces don't fall together before you start. They actually fall together before you start. And they fall together because you started. So just start. Start, and then stuff just starts falling into place. You start to see angel numbers. And I told y'all in the book, I'm tired. I'm so tired. But guess what? I'm not exhausted. There's a difference. Exhausted means you've got nothing left. Tired means you've been carrying something heavy for too long and you're finally ready to set it down. I can't pour into an empty cup, and honestly, neither can you. So here's the actual challenge I put at the end of the chapter, and I'm putting it onto you now. Tomorrow morning, not Monday, not next week, tomorrow. So whatever day you're listening to this, tomorrow you're going to get up, and you're going to get up before the house does. Doesn't have to be at 5 a.m., but man, if someone gets up at 5 a.m., you have to be the first one to get up. So dang. But now, all jokes aside, doesn't have to be a workout, just needs to be yours. 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour that belongs to you and God and whatever dream He put in you. He doesn't need you ready. He just needs you to be up. So with that being said, guys, that's the real story behind chapter 1. And I'll tell you, talking through it out loud like this kind of hits different than writing it. Saying it out loud, speaking into existence, reading it to you, like, whoo, it gets me excited. Again, the book's going to be called Girl, God's Got It, and I am on the home stretch getting it formatted on Amazon right now. When it's live, you're going to be the first to hear about it. Actually, TikTok will, because I always tell the 411 to TikTok. If you have TikTok, go and follow me at The Thriving Tiff. If you also have Facebook, go check me out on Facebook. It's RTZ Achoa. Everything up there is all family fun too. But I want my podcast fam to know first. So make sure you're following this show and everything else I've got going out there right now. My first book, which is based on a true story, Boots, Brawls, and Blessings. I have a manifestation planner. All of it is in my link in my bio. Go check it out. If at any part of this podcast made you think about your own 5 a.m., your own alarm clock, the way you keep hitting snooze on, I want to hear about it. Send me a message, write a comment down below, tag and share this episode. This generally is the whole thing on how growing grows. So, one bestie telling another, go out and share Thriving Tiff. Go out and share Thriving Out Loud with Tiff. Go share me. All right, so love you guys. That is episode 12. Next time, I'm telling you about what actually happened the day I hit publish, and hopefully it's soon. Hopefully it's by the end of this week. Fingers crossed. The fear, the doubt, and what God did with it anyway. Until then, go get up early tomorrow. Be the first one to get up in your house, even when you don't want to. And if it's summer for you, I'm sorry, but do it. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Even when you're not ready or not, it's time. I love you. Thank you for being here, and go be great and amazing. Bye.